Tonight, the shirtless painter.
Welcome to the Shirtless Painter. Take off your shirt and paint with me.
Carol's getting ready for her date with Sandy, a guy who is not yet her boyfriend, because Sandy's not trying to rush into any labels. Papa Seaver questions Sandy's intentions, as sand often invades bodily crevices when you least expect it. Mama Seaver likes Sandy. Papa remains skeptical, and Papa ain't wrong. All Sandy wants to do is suck porch face. Sandy won Carol's heart with a very mature dorm party, followed by a romantic dinner for two at a dive bar, the one with the cheap beer and free peanuts. Sandy invites Carol to a Dean's List lunch tomorrow. Carol says being hungover at a nerd fest sounds like a hoot, but she's got a family brunch with Grandma.
If I don't show up, I'll be dead.
Damn, Carol, that brunch sounds serious. Sandy says it'd be nice to have his girlfriend by his side. Oh, crap. Carol, horny for commitment, says Grandma can suck waffles. She'll be there. Meanwhile, Ben, a pervert, films his sister's gropathon for blackmail or jacking off. Probably a jackmail combo. Carol is busted past curfew, but while she discreetly cloaks her sinner breath, Mama Seaver says she's gonna let this one slide. Cool mama alert. Carol says Sandy finally made things girlfriend official, and she's never felt this ready to abandon her priorities and let a man ruin her life. Speaking of, Grandma who? Gonna miss that brunch tomorrow. Carol did not miss much. The only event of note was Ben farted. But while Ben was blasting ass in Gram's grill, Carol got stood up. Sandy didn't call, Sandy didn't text, texting doesn't even exist yet. Shit sucks. Ring ring. It's Sandy's roommate Doug. Great time for Mike to do some shtick. Abort. Shtick. Sandy was in a car crash last night. The gang hits the ER. Doug says these quacks are clueless. Sandy looks fine. Case closed as far as Detective Dr. Doug is concerned. They're only letting family in, but Doug offers to tell the nurse that Carol is Sandy's sister. So go easy on the making out. It's Long Island, not Mississippi. Carol can believe it. Sandy was fine yesterday because Carol does not understand how days or accidents work.
Sometimes a friendly face can do more than any medicine can. Right, Jason?
Right.
Where the fuck did you go to med school, Jason? Carol blows her sister's story, but covers by saying she's Sandy's fiance, which is why you really need to be careful rushing into labels. Sandy has had a very long, hard night. He's banged up something fierce. He hit a tree with his car. Don't worry, the tree is fine. And Sandy's going to be charged with drunk driving. Carol says they were only a little buzzed. She was still 2 light beers away from whipping out a midnight porch titty. Sandy concurs. He's driven way drunker. No problem. Had a blast. His luck must have run out. Carol Hospital yells at the infirmed man with tubes up his butt that he's, in fact, super lucky. He got a second chance. He'll never drive drunk again. She asks if he wants anything.
I wouldn't mind a beer.
My guy. Sandy's just joking. He makes jokes when he's uncomfortable. Speaking of comfort, an ice cold brew dog would really take the edge off. Meanwhile, Jason has joined Team Sandy. By the by, how did that sensible young graduate of Sonny Bono Driving Academy total his car? Carol says it was an honest mistake. Could have happened to anyone. He got shit-faced and drove a car. Ma and Pa Seaver do some hospital yelling. Runs in the family. Reprimanding Carol for being a moron. A timeless way to get your message across to a youth. Doug returns with snacks. Ha! The nurse slips on a banana. What a fun hospital visit. Ah, damn, can't wait to tell Mike this banana story. Oh no, Doug just called. It's never good when Doug calls. Sandy, he fucking died just moments ago. The doctors said, could there be any more internal bleeding? Carol freaks out. Do you have any idea how hard it is to find a good man on Long Island? What happened to second chances? Carol, silver lining. You nailed it about Sandy never driving drunk again. Things end with a sobering statistic. 29 people have been hurt or killed by drunk drivers during this episode. Plot twist, 30. Double plot twist. All of them were Sandy's fault. Thank God he's off the streets. So what did we learn today? You can be on the Dean's List and still love to party, but know your limits and never drink and drive. Because you will hit a tree and die from internal bleeding. End of story, check the scoreboard. See you next time on a very special episode. Sabrina's conjuring up breakfast. How about pancakes? No! Hilda and Zelda warn she must never eat them cakes. She has a genetic pre-witch position to pancake addiction. One bite, she'll be hooked for life. Sabrina ignores her aunt's clear cautions and chomps that yummy stacker. She's fine. No problem. She can put this stuff down anytime she wants. Sabrina corners Harvey, enjoying a casual standing hallway cake, to get a taste. Harvey tells her to scram, but Sabrina, a full-blown Bisquick fiend, hounds him.
I'm not a fiend.
Classic fiend talk. Whitney Houston fishes a half-eaten pancake out of the trash to rub it on her gums, then attacks a peer in the chance he's got what she needs. Sabrina is licking Harvey's hands for cake juice and shaking like Rick James at Nino Brown's funeral.
I'm in the mood for pancakes. Are you holding?
We need to raise money for prom. Come on now, no bad ideas.
Pancakes!
Okay, maybe some bad ideas. Sabrina, do you mean a pancake breakfast fundraiser? Sabrina's beamed up to Mrs. Butterworth's mothership.
Do you have any?
But because pretty blonde ladies can go crazy and nobody cares, the pancake breakfast is on. Sabrina Downey Jr. is ransacking the house for product, licking ham for the glaze, dumping maple on apples, shaking like Charlie Sheen on the 4th of July. Salem catches her in the kitchen, whipping up some midnight flap rocks. She's caught white-handed, terrified the school will discover her shameful addiction. Salem offers to help with a syrup potion that makes pancakes taste like rancid booty. She says thanks by choking the shit out of him. Let's hope her twitchy, dusty-ass, blasphemous dope fiend hands can get it done. Sabrina's got her anti-pancake pancake syrup, but gets distracted by doughy morsels. Swooped. Libby tries taunting her with a floor cake, except Sabrina full of grace is unfazed. Let's party. Uh-oh. Where is the magic sauce?
Oh, these taste awful.
It must be her syrup. Except it ain't. Libby was grossed out by a blueberry. Libby's a stuck-up asshole. Sabrina goes full Pookie the Teenage Witch, based out her damn skull off that crepe rock, moving through the room like the Tasmanian devil of slamming them fluffy things. Sabrina comes home looking ready to take down Indiana Jones, thicker than a molasses milkshake. Bootleg Doogie Howser puts her on a crash diet and pops her Missy Elliott getup. Problem solved. Except not at all. She's still a dang junkie. Zelda locks Sabrina in her room to go cold turkey while she rescues Hilda from a B-plot. It'll build character.
I don't want character. I want pancakes!
I hear that, sister. Sabrina does a fun "the clock is crawling as I tidy up to take my mind off pancakes" montage, because people kicking heroin are known for their meticulous living spaces. Sabrina has a dope dream from her griddle sweats. Everyone's bopping around, singing about, you guessed it, pancakes.
The answer to the riddle is cakes on the griddle!
A song bad enough to make you want to trade in those pancakes for a hit of rock cocaine. Sabrina wakes up from her musical nightmare to find Salem in a stack of doughboys, and a syrup lady who wants to take her someplace nice. Sure, why not? Let's party. The sticky stranger whisks Sabrina away to an international pancake house. That's basically a crack house for breakfast, where she can fiend out with her fellow cakeheads. Sabrina has a hasty moment of clarity. She abandoned her friends and family for pancakes. Syrup lady says, hush, who needs those losers when you've got pancakes? Do it, Sabrina. Eat them cakes, girl, eat them cakes. Eat them cakes, girl, eat them cakes. Eat them cakes, girl, eat them cakes, girl, eat them cakes, girl. Sabrina's breakfastium for a dream is over, but was it enough? You want a taste, little lady? Well, do ya? Of course she does. They're pancakes. They're delicious. And she will always be jonesing. She has to take it one day at a time, like any serious addiction that involves hallucinating a syrup lady. But we're not done. There's a credit scene where Sabrina yells at Salem in a bar to seek treatment because a crippling catnip addiction is ruining his life. Hilarious for anyone who's ever had to have a similar conversation. So what did we learn today? Inescapable, self-destructive, hereditary chemical dependence is very much a laughing matter, complete with musical numbers and field trips with new friends. If you ignore your elders about drugs, as teens will do, no problem. Kick that monkey by cleaning your room and taking a nap. And witch or mortal, pancakes are never this addictive. But you can't smoke crack Friday nights on ABC. See you next time on a very special episode.
And now, the shirtless painter.
I could never get sick of painting, but sometimes my paintings can get sick. You know, you feel bad for the little guy, but hey, free paint.
Corey wants pizza, but Papa's cooking soul food for Black History Month. Corey says this month can pound pavement. He has to write a boring report about it. Raven and Chelsea are hitting the mall to apply for a job at Sassy's, a store for teen girls that sounds like hell on earth. Chelsea has no experience, no skills, and no idea why she wants this job. Raven advises her to try a little harder on the application. Raven listed she designs clothes.
Can whistle through nose.
God fucking damn it, Chelsea. Chloe, the manager, tests the gals on their folding aptitude. Raven crushed it. She folded and organized like an infomercial for Adderall. Chelsea, on the other hand, God damn it, Chelsea. Now they have to help a customer build an outfit from this tacky dungeon. Raven's handling the tall order like a pro. Chelsea is about as useless as fake tits on a zebra. Chloe will be in touch. Meanwhile, Corey is slacking on his report. Victor says he better put some respect on this damn month, or he'll be history. Raven tells Eddie she aced the interview. And Chelsea? Participation trophy. Chelsea's on the phone with Chloe. She starts at Sassy's today. When does Raven start? Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, Raven didn't get the job, but she was so good, and Chelsea was so very, very bad. Why? It's vision time!
The truth is, I don't hire black people.
That's so racist. Raven is shocked. But Eddie notes you only see white employees at Sassy's. He keeps journals on it. Everyone needs a hobby. Chelsea, a white, didn't know this racism stuff was still around. Eddie emotionally recalls losing a childhood best friend because of a bigoted father. Wow, that's a heavy story.
Well, I'm off to work.
Fucking excuse me, Chelsea? Chelsea's just going in to quit. She's an ally, although working there full-time would certainly be the best way to hurt Sassy's. Meanwhile, Corey fell asleep, and Frederick fucking Douglass crawls out of his computer to introduce him to a veritable parade of dead African-American trailblazers. Best Black History Month ever. Raven is bummed she lost a job to racism, a fact she only knows because she's a magical black person on a show created by two white people, but whatever. Victor wants to shut Sassy's down. Mama notes that psychic premonitions don't hold up well in court. Raven's just one person. She can't change the world. Victor compares her to Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King, which is a bit of a stretch for a part-time position at Sassy's, but whatever. Time to expose that hateful bitch. The gang links up with a news reporter to catch Chloe with a hidden camera and a hat. A crazy ugly hat. Raven is in position. Go team, go!
Chelsea Daniels reporting for her first day of work.
Fucking hell, Chelsea, not now! Enter this inconspicuous character. Chloe says keep an eye on that guy.
Certain kinds of people need a little more attention.
Yeah, white women named Chloe. Raven explains to Chelsea's simple mind that she's in disguise, a detail they could have reviewed beforehand, and wildly unnecessary subterfuge as her father could have easily played this part. Chloe steps in to, "May I help you?" Raven flashes credentials that she's Marvin Sweetback, the new International Sassy's manager. Marvin wants to know why there are no signs for a Black History Month sale. Is Chloe aware it's Black History Month?
You do hire people of color, don't you?
Laying it on a little thick, Marvin. Chloe saw a great black applicant yesterday named Raven. She'll call her. Raven's phone is going to give her away. See ya. Eddie comes back with her phone. Great plan, all around, guys. And says he's here to apply for a job. Is that a problem, Chloe?
No! Of course not.
Chloe's tolerance is really throwing a wrench in things. Raven tells Chelsea to get the goods on tape. Now, Chloe explains she's only pretending to hire Eddie and plans to trash his application. Why would you ever do that, Chloe?
Chelsea, can I trust you?
Aye, boss.
The truth is, I don't hire black people.
Chelsea, I swear to God with your nonsense. But Ku Klux Chloe says it again, right into the hat. What a dummy. Master race my ass. Chloe is exposed. Chloe's fired. Racism is over. So what did we learn today?
I did not know Black history was so delicious.
Shut the fuck up, Chelsea. There are despicable racist people hiding in plain sight. They're named Chloe. They work at the mall. And one person can make a difference. But you need hidden cameras, prosthetic makeup, and the help of your local media. And you don't need superpowers to know a place named Sassy's is a fucking nightmare. See you next time on a very special episode.
And now, the shirtless painter.
Now, I believe there are no screw-ups, only pleasant whoopsies, but let's face it, once in a while your painting gets jacked up and you need to start over. To do so, simply pick up your canvas and give it a shake. See, now this I like.
Webster eyes a table of sweet toys. Catherine warned she brought them from work for testing as they've all received consumer complaints and may be dangerous. George found a chemistry set. He used to love these shits. A customer said it's boring. George says, of course it's boring when you follow lame instructions. George used to make all kinds of secret menu explosives. One time, he tied a rocket to his brother and launched him on the roof. Webster thinks this amateur terrorism sounds like it rocks Major Sack. It's too dangerous for Webster to play with alone, but they can all be science dorks tomorrow. They sent him to bed so they can bone.
Play one of these board games.
Oh, I don't know, darling. They're so dull.
How about if I'm the board?
I'll get the dice.
Okay, I guess that's what he calls his balls. Certainly peculiar. Webster makes his move. Yoinked! This bear is heading to space, or at least his upstairs neighbor. But playing with fire is just too dang fun. And Lil Nye wakes up the adults. He stashes the smoldering evidence in the closet. The perfect crime.
Tomorrow,
I'm putting a bear in space.
I wouldn't count on it. Webster wakes up in a Willie Nelson tour bus simulation. Let's check that experiment. Ah, yes, this supports the hypothesis that fire is hot. This glass of water should do the trick. Smokin' Hawking decides he likes his bear after all, then calls for help from his blazing bedroom. Jesus Christ! You wash your sweaters with gasoline? Webster tells the fire department to bring their biggest cup of water.
What are you doing, Catherine?
I'm getting my cookbooks. I don't want to lose everything.
Fucking seriously, Catherine?
I'm scared, I don't want to die.
My personal mantra for inner peace. They grab their most useless junk and hit the hallway to warn neighbors, most of whom are receptive. But one guy doesn't buy it and returns to his certainly purchased threesome. Webster forgot his box of mementos with a photo of his dead parents.
My mommy and daddy, I can't at the burn.
Relax, kid, they can't die twice. George risks his life for Webster's memento box, then escapes this human barbecue. The shell-shocked trio hides out at Jerry's.
I don't have a home.
Webster knows all about that game. He can give you pointers on finding a new one. George wants to call a doctor to score drugs for his melted hand.
My phone book burned.
So did my fishing cap. One with the little bass bug and the red feather.
Oh no, not the one with the red feather. Webster, consumed with guilt, doesn't want his mementos anymore. Well then what the shit was the point of all that, Webster? Jerry encourages them to cheer up.
I wish I was dead.
Jerry might have to encourage a little harder. The fire is extinguished, but the apartment's destroyed. They're investigating the fire source. Might have something to do with the beakers they found in the closet. George and Catherine bicker over who's to blame. Catherine brought the set through the door, but George got Webster jacked up on homemade explosives. Only one thing is for sure. It's all Webster's fault. Webster's cue to dip. Jerry puts things in much needed perspective. They're alive, and they don't have to spend tomorrow doing a boring chemistry kit. Now let Webster confess. Where is he? Neil deGrasse Arson is in a museum of his fuckupery. But hey, he found that fishing cap and a spatula. What do you say, guys? Cool beans? These beans are pretty far from cool. What do you have to say for yourself?
Bears in space.
What else do you have to say for yourself? We still got hot beans. Webster admits he started the fire playing with a forbidden chemistry set. This angers George, as he specifically said, "Don't do that." Then Webster did it, and they almost all died, and now their shit is trashed. Webster thought he couldn't get hurt playing with safety matches, because kids are morons.
He doesn't love me anymore.
Catherine lies and says they both still love him, then tells a story about a little girl who once dropped a match down an elevator shaft. That match started a fire that caused massive damage to the building. And that girl was Catherine. Kinda saw that coming. And nobody ever found out because she kept her mouth shut and it was a different time for forensics. And that's how you commit arson, Mr. Blabbermouth Evidence Trail.
I made a big mistake, and you did too.
A big mistake? That haircut's a big mistake. Y'all belong in jail. The fam makes plans to move somewhere. They'll figure it out. Season 2 just started. And more importantly, who cares?
I guess we lost everything.
Yup, you sure did. So what did we learn today? Listen to your adoptive parents about dangerous chemistry sets. Science rules, but it's not worth dying in a fire. Expensive bucket list sex? That's another story. And safety matches are not safe. Only a kid would think that. Kids are stupid. And if your room is burning, toss a cup of water. It won't do anything. It's just funny, and you could probably use a laugh. And you can always replace stuff. But your family? You can always replace them too. Just ask Webster. See you next time on a very special episode.
You're watching Funny or Die TV. And now, the shirtless painter.
Once every solstice, we must sacrifice a virgin canvas as an offering to the painting gods. It's okay. This is never easy, but it's the only way to be blessed with a bounty of beautiful landscapes. We'll see you next time.
Blossom hasn't seen her dear friend Jimmy in a while. He's been mysteriously absent.
Anyway, I'm back now, right?
That's all I need to hear, Jimbo. No further questions.
What's your name again?
It's Blossom, Jimmy. The only fucking person named Blossom. Jimmy got a gun. Say hello to my very little friend. He brought it to scare someone. Mission accomplished. Blossom's about to shit in her Oshkosh bagash. Jimmy tells her to keep things quiet. 6 got detention. A kid tagged a teacher's desk, and when nobody ratted, the whole class got in trouble. Blossom leaps at the chance to complain about this awful no-snitch culture. Six explains, people don't tattle because they're afraid.
Fear of kids on dope, fear of gangs, fear of getting beat up.
Only 2 of those are scary, you numerically named narc. Blossom sings about Jimmy's heater, then swears Six to secrecy, because these gals have such a strong track record in that department thus far.
It wasn't just like a toy or a bar of soap or something, was it?
Yeah, Blossom, was that gun a bar of soap? Blossom has the anonymous betrayal hotline memorized.
That way you don't have to worry about getting shot on your way to biology. Unless, of course, he figures it out and gets another gun. In which case, our whole class gets off half a day early for your funeral.
Wow, half days every time there's a shooting? The 90s were luxurious. Blossom will feel guilty if G.I. Jimmy's expelled, but not as guilty as she'd feel if Jimmy expels a cap in someone's ass behind the library. Blossom is rehearse snitching, workshopping voices, making a real meal out of it. But does she really want to piss off a guy with a gun? Sure, why not? Vinny says Blossom did the right thing. Debatable. And she has nothing to worry about. A goddamn lie. Because when the fuzz comes knocking, they don't find that blicky. Jimmy is a free man. A free man with a weapon who knows Blossom dropped dime.
You'll get yours, kid. I promise.
He still doesn't know her name. That should make her easier to murder. Meanwhile, Joey's watching TV. Ding dong. This clown needs directions to Blueberry Lane and asks to come inside.
You're not gonna steal anything, are you?
Well, that depends. Do you have any midget firemen?
Joey, you can't afford to not let this guy inside this instant. Joey knows him. He's Frosty. He did Joey's 6th birthday. Speaking of birthdays, Frosty is late for some kid's party. Joey points him that direction, but a slurring Frosty is disoriented.
Are you a little drunk?
I was a little drunk this morning. Now I'm big time drunk.
Frosty still got it. Joey volunteers to drive this hammered costume jokester to a house full of children.
I hope one of these is the car.
No, they're all keys.
Still got it. Blossom tells her dad about the snitchuation. Daddy wants to run it up the old suburban snitch ladder to the police. Blossom defends Jimmy, a job his pistol already has more than covered. Joey's driving Frosty in the sad van he probably lives in while he sips hooch from a giant bottle. Frosty wants to pull over to the side of the canyon to take a leak. No! Frosty! Frosty's fine. He just wanted to behold the City of Angels and scream piss all over it. The La La Land we deserve. Joey was worried this alcoholic clown offed himself. You know, with the yelling and sad drinking and whatnot. Frosty's thought about it. He's thought about it a lot. His brain is like a tiny car, and thoughts of suicide just keep jumping out. Joey offers to get Frosty some help. Tony tells Blossom how much he loves AA. He always sees some pathetic loser, and it makes him feel great about his shitty life by comparison. Then today's your lucky day, Tony. Joey introduces the gang to Frosty, the alcoholic suicidal clown. Joey wants Tony to bring him to a meeting. Tony's reluctant. I mean, it's already anonymous. You don't exactly need full face makeup.
Don't worry, you'll be just as funny sober.
But you folks won't be.
Say goodnight, Frosty.
Good night, Frosty.
Still got it. God damn, this clown's good. Blossom bumps into Vinny, who tells her the good news. She's safe. Jimmy had an accident with his gun last night. Let's just say 5 out of 5 dentists do not recommend using one as a toothbrush. And we never see Frosty again. He probably fucking killed himself. So what did we learn today? Piss off gun owners at your own risk, because they might kill you. And just because you're an alcoholic suicidal disaster doesn't mean you can't still be hilarious. And life is often overwhelming, but you'll get through it if you accept help and if your enemies blow their own brains out. See you next time on a very special episode.